Hey, welcome back to the table. This is week 4. So let's see how we're going to do. Let's draw our special card. Add 2 to all non-fixed support and non-fixed command operational movement rules. Okay, right now they get a -3 and a -2 because of the campaign. So this is basically nullifying most of it. That's okay. I pointed out at the end of the last video there was only 1, 2, 3, 4. There's only 6 units that can move anyways. Everything else is fixed. So this is not a bad deal, and more importantly, we're able to repair our units this time. So I'm going to go ahead and just lay that over there. What are we going to do this week? Well, we got a couple of things. First off, there's this, and I forgot to do that at the end of last week, so I'm going to do that right now. There was a unit that actually retreated into the far back enemy breakthrough, and I'm going to just move that right up. So basically, I'm going to unretreat it. So this one, I'm leaving B for now, just because it's actually been a little beneficial to move them up. What do we got? Well, first of all, we got this one. 1C. If you destroy it, they don't get to do movement rolls this week. So that would nullify the card that we just drew, right? So this one actually has potential. And what I could do is I can send my entire team, Team A and Team B after this. It's worth 4 victory points. And it might be worth doing just for that reason. And then I could get 2 experience points on everybody. I do have one guy who's an ace, so I can save him to do this other mission that only gives us 1 victory point. And it's one that we need to do. So let me grab it so I can refresh your memory on it. It's an artillery squad. So this would get us 5 victory points for the week. This is only 4 units. An anti-tank gun and a mortar squad. So what I could do is send my Panther with the legendary commander after the artillery support. And then I could maybe send somebody else. I don't know who that somebody else would be, but like we could, and maybe like the rifle squad, right, would go with him. And maybe the transport, right? Although I don't know if that's necessarily what I want to do. And then everybody else will go against the infantry HQ, which will nullify the card we just drew, and nobody can move forward. We get 5 victory points if we somehow can pull both of these off. This removes that constraint, and I have 2 cards with this constraint, so this is the first of the 2 that we need to take out. And then that allows me to go after the Juicy, the one that gives us 6 SO points. Now, there's a couple other things to bring your attention to. This guy, we looked at this last time. 3 experience points. It is the kitchen sink, basically. That guy right now is sitting in the rear, but with our truck, it wouldn't cost us anything to attack it. We would need to attack that with everything we have. It's 8 victory points, so it's going to be the entire week if that's what we do. It's an amazing one. And then everybody gets 3 experience points on top of it. So that's experience points for everybody in our squad. I'm definitely, my eye is on that one. The Eye of Mordor is focused on that one. This, of course, is the juicy one that we're trying to get to. It's also a 5 victory point juicy, and then you get 6 SO points. It's not an easy one, but it's still worth the juice. So in order to get to that juicy, like I said, we have to destroy this guy, and then there's one more that looks like this that has the same keywords that won't let us get back to. It's a fixed tent, so he's not going to ever move. And anyways, what I'm trying to get at is I got to destroy 2 squads that have that keyword. This is one of them, and he's only worth 1 victory point, so he's a crappy one. But what I could do is I could use my tank, maybe to my Panther, and just send my Panther to finish him off. That's what I'm thinking of doing. So yeah, let's do those 2, and then maybe week 5 we're going to do this. That guy is just amazing. The 3 experience points, though, well, yeah, we're going to get 2. So that's still pretty good. Well, let's get the 2 experience points for now, and we'll do the 3 later. We have some seriously damaged dudes. So, yeah, I was going to go after the base, but because of the card we drew, this one is the right time to do this. So we'll cancel the bonus that they get on their offensive by taking out their infantry HQ. All right, so let's do this. I'm going to go after the artillery support first, the weaker one. It's going to take us hopefully longer to set up than it will to actually play. And yep, we ended up drawing the dang river again. I don't know where the river tile is. Oh, here it is. And then we drew this. We got one of those bunkers, which is an interesting location for the bunker. And some pretty boring stuff coming up next. So that's our layout so far for this particular battle. All right, I have to commit who's going to this before I look at the card any further or look at the terrain any further. I said the Panther was going, but am I going to send anybody to help? This is 2 mortars, 2 anti-tank guns. The anti-tank guns could damage our Panther pretty bad. I'm only going to send our Panther after this one. It's only 1 victory point. This bunker is a weird one. It has like a building that, even though the stats here say 5-5, it's really a 4-4. And I don't know. Like I said, if DVG gave me the piece that goes with it, I didn't do a good job of putting it somewhere that made sense, because I don't know. And it could be actually in the Tiger or the Sherman Leader game that I have, because these terrain tiles are meant to be used for Sherman Leader and Tiger Leader. So Sherman Leader could actually have the pieces that I'm looking for this bunker. So my apologies there, because I've also noticed that I have an extra turn and tactical move marker, and I don't know why I have extras of those. I must have got it with the upgrade kit or something. Okay, so my Panther, I will put here. And so I could destroy that bunker, and I get a victory point for it. If I read that correctly. Outpost tiles can only be in the top and middle row. So it says swap it. So this actually goes into the top row. So that's the first thing. If you draw one of those, it has to go up there or down here where the river is. Like, it could actually have gone here. Actually, that's probably the better swap. Since I drew it late, why would I swap it with the top one? So I'll leave that one where it was, and we'll swap it with this one. So the thing that's tricky about this is you got to go through barbed wire or minefield. But in my case, I would just go through the barbed wire because the tank can just roll right over that. The bunker has an AP of 4, an HE of 4, and a range of 1. Its defense value is 5, and it has light cover, so it becomes a 6. And it's worth 5 points towards the. I don't know why it's got a value of 5. So that means that I guess the battalion is worth more. So we may have played this wrong the last time we got it, because it actually has a value of 5. So it makes the battalion stronger. So that actually makes this worse. Okay, so from an anti-tank gun perspective, these guys are nasty. There's 2 of them. And then there's 2 mortars, which we've never seen yet. The mortars have a very awful attack against us, but they do have indirect fire, so they don't need to have line of sight. And let's roll to see where the anti-tank goes. 5 and 3. There's 3. There's 5. And then the mortars are on 9 and 10, which are there and there. Okay, and then they have like a range of 3, those mortars do, indirect. So even though they have a hard time hitting armor, they will get to shoot at me quite a lot. All right, as always, we got to see how they fare. So they're going to be rolling a d10 for their orders. And I'm fast with this tank, so I get to go first. And yes, we're still using, the 2 scouts, so I get 6 turns for this battle. And my truck negated the SO point penalty for attacking deep. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to sit put, or stay put. Although this guy gets huge bonuses at a range 0. If I move up, the mortars get to attack me. But I think I got to move up no matter what. So I'm going to move up, and then I'm going to take a stress to move again. And this only affects infantry, the barbed wire. So I just basically just plow right over the infantry. And so I'm going to take 1 stress. And the reason I get to move again is the overdrive skill. And I'm not in the same hex as other things, so it's not very helpful. But I'm going to try to attack this bunker, which I may not do very well because he's got a really high defense. So the bunker is a soft target or a hard target? It doesn't say. So how do I know? I'll treat it like a hard target. So I hit with a 4. I get a -1 to my attack, so I hit with a 5. This is a hit, but those are 2 blocks. So he doesn't harm me, and actually the bunker gets to attack me now too. So this may have been a stupid move on my part. So now it's their turn, and the bunker gets to attack me. Yep, it does. So it hits with a 4, and as you can see, there's 2 hits there. I defend with a 3, so nothing happens. I'm actually taking 2 damage from the stupid bunker. And so, to make matters worse, I just drew 2 exposed markers, which means that next turn they're going to get to hit me with all kinds of nonsense. So now the, we got to roll for their orders. It's an 8. So the mortar team advances to cover. This is like cover, but advancing for them would be to go across the river, which does not take them to cover, so they won't advance. The anti-tank team will advance if it cannot attack, so that will happen, and this will happen. And yeah, so now the mortar team gets to attack us. Now, mortar team only hits with a 9. I'm sorry, a 7. And we're 2 away, so they get a -1, so they would hit with an 8. It hits with this, but we actually block with a 3. So we did block the first mortar attack. And then the next mortar attack hits. and there's nothing I can do about that one. So that one, that actually really blows. But what's better than something that stinks is to get something that is awesome. So no effect. All right, we're exposed. We got 5 turns left. I'm going into the bunker space, and that lets me roll an extra die because I have the close combat ability. I get +3 to my attack because of my commander. This thing should be toast. And I just rolled 2 10s for their defense value, and yes, the bunker is finally destroyed, which is good. All right, now the part that hurts though is they're going to get to do some damage to us. So rolling for their command, they rolled a 7. They're going to advance if they cannot attack. Well, anti-tank gun will advance, and the mortars will stay where they are. They all get to attack me. The anti-tank gun is 1 away from us, so they hit with a 2. That is not good. So my zealousness to get the anti-tank gun is going to cause me. I probably should have brought something else to help me here. All right. Okay, the 4 and the 3 both hit. The 3 and the 4 both block. I'm in light cover right now with my tank, so I get an extra bonus. Okay, the next anti-tank. The 10 and the 10 both hit. Oh my gosh, that's 4 10s. All right, so we take 2 hits though. And remember, I'm exposed, so I actually get more hits. All right, I got a hull damage, and I gain a stress. So give 1 stress to my commander. He's up to 2 now. Okay, and now we're doing the artillery. Both of those are hits, but both of these are blocks. Now, this artillery would be clearly a miss, but I have 2 exposed counters, which gives them a +4 to their die rolls. And then we go to this, and I block 1, and 3 + 4 is 7. That's enough to hit. So Jerky Jerk does another thing to me, and it is 1 stress again. So I'm up to 3 stress now with my commander. Okay, the anti-tank guy is brutal. I'm down to 4 turns. I can't take out one anti-tank without being attacked by the other, so that hurts. But what I'm going to do, though, is I'm going to move in. This is 2, 4. That's 8 points, by the way. I got to get him down to 4 points in order to knock him down to half strength. So I'm going to go into here and take out one of their anti-tanks. And I hit with both. Oh, and I actually get to roll a 3rd die, but it doesn't matter. I hit with both. So their anti-tank unit is down. Got rid of 1, but now all 3 of these still get to attack. My 2 exposed counters goes away, so that's good. And their anti-tank now gets to attack, and we don't have as much of a defense anymore. So this and this are both hits, and those are both not going to block. So we just got 2 more hits from their anti-tank, and our commander's wounded, and another stress. So I'm up to 4 stress now. And now for the artillery, or the mortars. This one hits, and I don't block. Okay, so we took a gun damage. The gun damage prevents me from shooting far away, and it's okay. We shoot up close and personal. And this is a block. This is a miss, and that's a hit, but we block it. So we block the next one. All right, now we're down to 3 turns left. They still have 6 strength. I'm going to move into this mortar space, and I'm now going to attack the other anti-tank. And the other anti-tank didn't stand a chance. And I actually got to roll an extra die. I keep forgetting to do that. These guys really shouldn't stand a chance. I mean, that's the thing. I mean, especially now that I'm up close and personal. I mean, I'm pretty much unstoppable. Now, they can damage me still, and so that's what we're going to do. The mortar apparently can still hit me at range 0. That shouldn't be allowed, to be honest. And actually, I forgot to roll for their... on that last turn, they would have advanced. So technically, the anti-tank would have done an AP advance. So technically, I would be here, and this one would have advanced into the same space as the other one. I don't think the outcome would have been any different. He would have gotten a penalty for advancing, but that penalty would have been offset by his bonus for being at range 0. But what it meant, though, is I wouldn't have moved. So I wouldn't have gotten a penalty for moving, and I would have gotten even more bonus for hitting them. And then the mortars would advance if they cannot attack, but they would have stayed still. So now, like, my turn comes, I kill the guy, but I'm here instead of there. Once we roll for them, they're at half strength, so that 7 becomes a 6. So they would do a cautious advance, which would not happen because nothing's cautious for them. Remember, they have to cross the river. They can't just go into the bunker. So now, yes, they get to attack. So let's see what they do. This 7 is a hit. Jerk. Absolute jerk. And we got... what do we got? I drew too many. Hold on a second. I got to get another one. We got an exposed. So done. And next guy, he rolled 2 1s. That's not going to hit. And then I would have blocked. So that was overkill. So, okay. They are at half strength. We're down to 2 turns left. Once I get them down to 2 strength, they're going to be destroyed, and that's exactly going to happen right here because I'm moving up. And they do block 1. They block the other. But remember, I get to roll a 3rd die. That also hits, so unless they block this one, and they did not. So that was a little scary. I needed all 3 dice, but I do get them. And they are destroyed. I don't think we check for that until the end of the turn, so they would still do their move. So it's a 9 reduced to an 8, so they advance to cover, which there is no cover for them to advance to. So we got to endure 1 more attack from him. This 9 is a hit. And I drew no effect. There's some holes in there that would have destroyed me. The MG would have hurt the most because that ruins your ability to attack at range 0. The range 0 thing is what's making me just slaughter them. The battalion's destroyed. We get, what, a victory point? Yes. If we destroy the outpost, we get a victory point. Also, it was necessary to win. I don't think it was a smart move to go in with just 1 guy. I took a lot of damage. I think I did it because the other one gives 2 experience points to everybody, and this guy was the only ace, or in this case, legendary, that I have. And, you know, he doesn't need the experience points. He was able to win, but we took a lot of damage. And I'm risking my Panther, which is... I can't replace a 15 cost Panther. There is another Panther. No, there isn't any more Panthers. These are the only 2 available. Now I can get a Tiger, which costs 17. I don't have 17 either. So probably not the smartest move on my book. And the building, go there. And these new ones are mortars, which the Eye of Mordor was on them. Ha ha ha. That was pun intended. Okay. So from a experience point perspective, there's nothing really to talk about, and I don't get any stress because I have 2 cool. Here's my commander. He has 4 stress, and he doesn't gain any more because he has 2 cool. And then his panther looks like this, with a gun, a hole, and the exposed actually goes away. So we're good to go there. But we do record so week 4, we destroyed 7S, and that gave us a whopping 1 victory point. So 7S is here. It's actually one of the mobile battalions, so we're destroying all the mobile battalions pretty soon. It's not going to matter what kind of die rolls they get. So 1 victory point is in the books. This next one's the bigger battle that I probably overkilled, but I actually think I need all these troops to survive this. And yeah, I'm just looking at the fact that I just have more and more SO points worth of damage. That's the thing that I just don't know how to overcome. That's where the cheaper units come in handy again. You can just discard them and get another cheap unit. Although this game is unit limited, so for example, if you have only 2 MG nests, which there is only 2, you can't get a third. Now there's MG nests that are experienced, right? So you can upgrade them to the experienced MG nests, which actually, I should consider doing. It only costs 1 SO point to do. So right here is an experienced MG nest, and you can see it has a defense value of 3, whereas the other MG nest has a defense value of 2. And we've been taking some hits, right? With that. And he hits with a 1 instead of a 2. So it's almost like a guaranteed hit if you've got the experience, and it costs you just 1 SO point to upgrade. So maybe I should have done that a long time ago, right? And get those 4s out. For 2 SO points, you got yourself a much superior unit with a higher defense value. That's actually really good. And then the same with the rifle team. There's the rifle team. We have one of these right now that costs 3. And the experienced rifle team, I know it exists, let me find it, for 2 more SO points. Look at that defense. It goes from 3 to 4. What's crazy is I have a rifle team that only has a defense of 2. Hey, what? Whoa, whoa. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Look at this. This is the one we've been playing with. Look, he's got a defense of 2. The other one has a defense of 3. What kind of moron am I? I picked 902 when I could have picked 901. And they're the same price. And then look at 1002 there. For 2 SO points, I can go up to 4 defense. That's super formidable. That makes them better than Panthers, as far as I'm concerned. And it goes on and on. You got, like, look at this. You got a mortar team. Now that costs 9. That's not a cheap team to get. And its attack value is 8 and 7, which is awful. But it cannot move, and it gets to shoot 1 to 3 spaces away. So I think the key thing is that it can just basically hit anything. But then you can get the upgraded one for 2 more points, and it's 7 and 6. Yeah, the mortar teams actually suck. Those aren't very good. For the price you pay, just get a tank or an artillery. Yeah, mortar teams blow. Now here's an anti-tank team. So here's one for 3 points. HP attack or AP attack of 6, defense of 2. Right? That's not bad. Now let's see if there's an experience. Yep, there is. For 2 more SO points, you get an AP attack of 5. That is only 1 point worse than a Panther. okay? And then this defense is equivalent to a panther for 5 SO points. My panther cost 15. Look at this. 15. So I got a 4 AP attack. He has a speed of 1, range 0 to 3. My anti-tank team has a range of 0 to 1. I think that's the issue, is I just don't have as much range. I have the same speed, the same defense, and I'm 1 worse in both the AP and HE attack. I take stress if I move and attack in the same turn. So all you have to do is make sure you pick a commander that has aggressive on him, keyword. I honestly, I think that the game is too punitive for the nice equipment. And here I am getting all sucked in. I want the nice equipment. I mean, we're playing Tiger Leader and I don't even have a Tiger, for Pete's sakes. But I am doing this though. This guy has a better defense for this. I mean, why would I have ever taken 901? Jesus. Or 902. I have no idea. That seems like it's a typo that they would have 2 units where one's better than the other. So yeah, I mean, there's some lessons learned here, right? And that's yeah, you're hearing me with my buyer's remorse, and I do have buyer's remorse. I bought 2 Panthers, and I didn't need to. This was by far way better strategy. Now the range thing is what gets you, right? So the American tanks would be able to shoot us from 3 spaces away, and my infantry teams would have to be marching towards those tanks, and they can't do anything until they get there, right? So you won't be able to do anything about it until you get within range, and I think that is the drawback. And that's where having a Panther that can shoot from 3 spaces away back at them is really nice. And I don't disagree. It just, you do get rushed by them. Yeah, it just seems like there's this nicer balance in the middle that we could probably find. Okay, enough of that. I forgot to do the on the way home, so let's do that. Well, actually, I forgot to even do on the way there, didn't I? So the no effect was for on the way there, and then on the way home, gain 1 SO point. I can't argue with that. So that was good all across the board. So we are at 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. But that 1 SO point I just gained, I'm going to pay it again because the Panther is large. That's the other thing. The Panther's large, so I lose an SO point. Yeah, I can whine all day about this. All right, let's put this in. That's another one for the good guys. So now we're up against Battalion 1C. This one, like I said, it just feels super tough. We have 6 rifle units. There's 4 of the 6, and there's 5, 6. So 6 rifle units. That by itself is awful. 2 anti-tanks, which we just went up against, and those aren't fun. 2 anti-tank guns, which are different than the anti-tanks. They have a range of 3, so they're formidable. 2 MGs, and we know those are nasty. 2 mortars, which we just experienced. And 2 armored cars, which are ho-hum, but they are hard targets. So 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 units. All right, we got to get our tiles out. So first tile gives them some light cover. Second tile does not. This one is a base game, so these are both light cover. We got a bug on the other side. This one gives us some light cover. And then we got a heavy cover. So this sort of worked out a little bit in our favor. Just a little. All right, everybody else on our team is going. So remember, my artillery has the ability to shoot over blocking line of sight. These two block line of sight, both of these. So I have an 88 and I'm putting it in heavy cover. I have an artillery. I'm also putting it in heavy cover. I think everything's going in heavy cover, by the way. I have a rifle team, which I could put in light cover there. And I don't know if I want to, though. Because they have so many rifle units, they're going to advance. And this is a tough decision. I have an MG nest, which I'm going to put here. And I know there's no cover for my MG nest, but I have a feeling they're going to move into this cover right here, and we're going to just mow them down with our MG nests. So this rifle squad, I'm going to put with the MG nests. I mean, we have a 3 defense on our rifle squad, so the Panther, I'm going to put here in the heavy cover. We can shoot into the bog. We're going to have trouble shooting past those 2 spots because our Panther does not have the ability to shoot past those 2 areas. So they're a bit shielded. We have a Panzer II, which will also go into heavy cover. We have a anti-tank gun that is damaged beyond belief. Also going to go into heavy cover. And both of those guys take 1 stress. So the Panther II is shaken. And the anti-tank guy is also shaken. He's sitting with 7 stress. They both had a glancing, and so they had to take some stress because of the glancing. So, for example, this is the anti-tank guy I'm talking about. Awesome one, you know, shoots at 3 range, right? But I have 2 glancing. And the engine is preventing him from moving, and so is the suspension. And the MG doesn't hurt him because he's not shooting at range 0. And then we have a transport unit, which I will also put in the heavy cover. I could use that to move some stuff, but all right, well, that's our situation, and we got a lot of damaged units participating in this. Now, one thing to point out is this is our 105 millimeter. He has 2 tactics, okay? This is our artillery, all right? And then also, one of the MG nests, this one, has 1 tactic. Okay, and then the transport unit, so just a itty bitty transport, he actually has 1 tactic. Not that, you know, he's very good, he's not, but he at least starts with a tactic. Okay, let's roll. Autobots. Let's do armored car. 4 and 8. Then the mortar. 1, way out of the way, and 10, which puts them right in the range to hit us. That's the thing. That mortar can be brutal, and they're really good against soft targets. So that's an interesting issue. Then the MG, 2 and 6, 2 and 6, and then the anti-tank, 9 and 10. And I'm wondering if I forgot to give them their free move in that last battle. I bet I did. That could have changed things in my favor, to be honest, because they would have been closer to me. There's 2 anti-tank guns. Those shoot at 3 range. And then the riflemen. So we got 2 of them at 1. It's nice if some of them are really far away. And then we have actually 3 of them at 1. and then one at 6, and one at 9, and then roll for the last one. He's at 4. Okay, so per the rules, MGs, anti-tanks, get to move once. They do 1 advance, and then the rifle units do 2 advance. And this is why I stayed a bit back. So I'm going to try to stand up here for this so I can see the board a little better. Okay, we'll start at the top left. Rifle gets 2 advance, so 1, 2, 2, and 2. I don't think the mortars get 2 advance, because they're like artillery. I wish they would have put this on the board somewhere. AT and MG units get 1, rifle units get 2. It's very specific, AT and MG. Okay, so this MG gets 1, so I'll move it there. This AT gets 1. I'm going to assume they're going to avoid the bogging, so I'll move him there. This MG gets 1. I'll move him there. This rifle gets 2. So 1, 2, just like we predicted. This rifle gets 2, which is we're going to predict. This AT gets 1. I'm going to put him in the bog. And he rolls a 5, so nothing happens. The anti-tank guns, I'm going to assume, get 1 each. And then the rifle squad gets 2. Yeah, nothing happens. Okay. All right. It's sort of what I was expecting would end up happening, is that a whole bunch of them would pile up. So let's set this to turn 6. This is a big battle. And what do I have that's fast? I have some tactics that lets me shoot fast. And one of them is on this machine gun nest right here. So I'm going to use my tactic right now and go fast with him. And I'm going to shoot, I'm going to mow down one of these rifle squads. He's in light cover. And you can see I rolled a 10 and a 6, so that's 2 hits. I only need a 2 to hit, and my commander is awesome at 1 space away, so I get a +1. And their defense didn't help them, even with the thing, so the rifle unit is already destroyed before anything starts. Okay, and then my artillery, which is sitting back here, he gets a free shot, and he has the spotter ability, so he can shoot over this. So I can hit one of these guys back here, and I'm going to shoot at the MG squad that's back here. And he only hits with a 6. He's shooting 3 away, so he gets a -2 penalty, but he gets a +2 because of my commander. So yes, we're going to use one of our tactics. He has 2 of them. He's going to use 1, and we're going to take a free pot shot at it. And basically, the commander negates the penalty, so I hit with a 6 or better. And there's a 10, but the jerk rolled a 1. So, yeah, I missed. Otherwise, that was an easy hit. And dang it. I was really hoping to take out that MG nest before it had a chance to get close. Okay, so now it's their turn, and let's roll real quick to see. I rolled a 1. Okay, and so just a reminder, that means they're using a 6-sided die to determine what they're doing. So let's do that. That means they're not going to be as aggressive, which might work in our favor. Oh, I'm using this card. Add 1 to your rifle, anti-tank, and machine gun team attack rolls. I haven't needed it yet, but I'm using that one. And I could use Reckless. Discard at the start of any battle to destroy 1 enemy unit. I probably should have used that with the Panther, because I would have destroyed the bunker. That bunker was a piece of work. I have the ability to just flat out destroy a unit, and I sort of feel like I want to wait until a tank is on the board, because the tanks are the worst. Absolute worst. So yeah, I'm going to save that one for a better time. But yes, I'm going to use this card that gives me +1, and then I'm going to demonstrate how I will forget about the card the entire battle. Okay, let's go for their turn. I rolled a 5, so okay. The armored cars advance if it cannot attack. So starting with this armored car, he will advance, but then he's done. And this armored car has a range of 2. He will advance. And this is interesting because with the spine here, I'm assuming he can still shoot to this area. So he's not done. He's in range. Next, the rifle are going to advance to cover. So all of these rifle squads are going to advance to cover, and they get a penalty. So I'm going to put a penalty on their attack. He gets a penalty too on his. The MG will advance to cover. And the AT, you know what? The AT gun is listed separate from AT, so I'm going to put their AT gun back. I don't think they got to move. Okay, now with that said, let's keep reading here. AT gets to advance if cannot attack. So this one will advance, and he's going to fall under that same bucket as everybody else. The rifle unit advances to cover, so he's staying. This one will advance, but he can't advance to cover, so he's not moving. The AT will advance because he cannot attack, so now we got to roll. I rolled a 2. He's stuck for the battle. So I'm going to put he's not dead, but I'm going to put a red on him because he can't move for the rest of the battle, and that's awesome, but he is in range to attack us. And then the mortars and the AT guns are going to do a cautious advance. So these AT guns will advance. That mortar doesn't advance, but this one will. And this MG unit is moving up. Well, it says advance to cover, so he's not moving. He only moves if he can get into cover. There's no cover for him. Okay. So that's everything. We actually have a lot of attacks coming our way. Ugh, not excited about that. These two actually suffer on their attack because they moved. And the mortar actually gets a penalty because that one moved. In fact, the truck, the mortar, and the anti-tank gun can't attack at all. So these guys are done if they moved. So we're just going to put them into the corner. That MG goes into the corner. This rifle goes into the corner. So we got these guys here to resolve. From a line of sight perspective, the line of sight rules, they don't go into very deep detail on how line of sight works. This is a weird one where, So if you're going along the spine, like this hex to this hex, this side has an obstruction, this side does not. So what happens? If there's more than one equally direct path, the attacker chooses the path that will give it a line of sight to the target. A unit cannot attack an enemy unit if there is a line of sight blocking hex between it and its target. Trace the most direct path through the hexes separating. That's all it says. You would think that there'd be 100 examples of line of sight, considering all the problems that are going to come up because of line of sight issues. I think then what it's trying to tell us is that, okay, this guy can shoot 2 spaces away, and as long as I can go this way, and there's no line of sight problems, like even if you could shoot 3 spaces away, you could go 1, 2, 3 like that and go around these two. I mean, that's sort of like what it's trying to get at. Or like, let's say that you were here and you could shoot 3 spaces away. You could go 1, 2, 3 and hit this, even though you're going around a target in between. But it does say that if there is something in between, there is no line of sight. I think that in the case of the spine, I'm going to say there's line of sight. So let's just move on with that and make sure I'm not stepping on my dog here. All right. Now, as far as defense goes, this rifle squad has a defense value of 3. So these 2 units are the ones that are more susceptible. Nothing back here is eligible to be hit because everything, if you do their attacks, they're only able to hit these 3 units right here. That's it. Okay, so we'll start with the armored car. The armored car, like I said, gets a -1 to its value because it moved. And it hits with a 5, so that becomes a 6. So it's doing a 6, and we have a defense value of 2, and we're just going to assume that it's going after 922. We're just going to alternate back and forth between our... so we're going to start with 922 here, armored car. And I rolled too many attack dice. So I'm going to take 1 away and then re-roll. So I got a 1 and a 6. The 6 hits. The defense value stunk. And we gained a stress. So I said we're starting with 922. So the stress goes on Seidel. It's the 922 is the Team A machine gunner. All right. So this guy is done and over. So let's do the mortar team, which is this one. And then that means that these 2 are the only tiles left. So the mortar team, this is an indirect fire. They hit with a 4. But they do get a -2 penalty because they're shooting 3 spaces away. So -2 means they need a 6. And you can see there's a 4 and a 5. So it's a miss on their part. So the mortar doesn't do anything. This guy is an anti-tank. He's stuck for the rest of the game. He does have a range 1, but he only hits soft targets with a 7. So he's got a big roll he needs to get. And we rolled a 1 and a 3, so nothing happens there. And when I said alternating, I mean taking hits. So I'm choosing this guy again and again and again until he takes a hit. So we're still on 921 with all these rolls. Okay, so those are both misses. So he's done. And then, yeah, we got all these guys. So let's start with the rifle unit that does not get any penalties. They hit with a 4. So I rolled a 1 and a 2. So that's a big negatory miss there. And then these other rifle guys, they get a -2 to all their rolls. So these are rifle. Oh, that's an MG. So we'll do them one at a time. But the rifle guy gets a -2. So this one is normally hits with a 4. Now it's a 6. I did roll an 8. So that's 1 hit on 921. All right, so we got an immobile. And immobile doesn't hurt him one bit. He doesn't plan on moving. Okay, the next one is another rifle unit, so he needs to hit with a 6 or better. And he rolls 2 6s. So, but we do roll a 2, so we block one of them. All right, so what do we get? 1 stress. And that's for the same guy, Seidel, so he's up to 2 stress now. And Seidel, by the way, has a casualty, so if he ever were to get another one of those, we're a toast. Okay, so next up is another rifle unit. Again, he needs a 6 or better. And he hits with both of them. Boy, oh boy. We're supposed to be missing with these ones. So I got an exposed and 1 stress. So Ziegler is up to 3 stress. And that one's exposed, so next turn it's going to be bad. All right, and now we got an MG nest. And MG gets a -2, so he hits with a 4 or better. This is a miss, that's a hit, and it's a hit. I got a suppress, so that prevents us from attacking unless we take a stress. That's a bit more hurtful, and that's not as good. Okay, MG units really shouldn't be able to move and attack. We can't move and attack with our MG unit. Okay, next is their AT. He's in huge trouble. He has to roll an 8 or higher to hit us. And of course he rolls an 8. And he hits. Jesus Louises. Okay. So what do we got? No effect. No effect on this one. All right. Well, it could have been worse, I guess. We're definitely getting pounded, and it's these ranged guys in the back that are a bit of an issue. But it's our turn to punch back, and that is precisely what we're going to do. I'm going to start with my machine gun units, and we're taking out their machine gun unit for sure. So 921, I'm going to get rid of the suppression token by taking a stress. So my commander is now up to 3 stress. He's okay until he gets 4, actually 5, causes him to lose his, to go to shaken. So he can actually go up to 4 and be fine. All right, so 922, this guy is going after their machine gun. And that 7 and 6 are both hits. This blocks one of them, but the other one no go. So 1 for the good guys. Now these are all riflemen in a big stack, and then there's an anti-tank gun, anti-tank guy that is actually a threat to our tanks. So we do got to worry about that. And so I'm going to go after the anti-tank guy with my other one. Because if I move forward with my tanks, I am going to need to eventually. But you know what? I don't need to this turn. So my other machine gunner is going to just go after one of their riflemen. And so, good thing we have a commander that gives bonuses to the... So these are both hits. He blocks one, but not the other one. So the rifleman is down. And I just realized their anti-tank gun could move forward to attack us. They might. Remember, they're rolling a d6, so they may not... They're not going to get the AP advance or the advance command. They're only going to get these commands. And so I don't think their anti-tank infantry is going to move forward. They're going to just sit back and attack us with a 7 roll, which I'm going to take for now. Now this infantry with 901, I'm actually going to... 901 here is... He has aggression, which means he can move and not take stress. So we're going to move into there, which gives him a -2 to his attack, but he's going to do a 0 range attack, which gives him a +2, so they cancel out. So we don't get the penalty. And he has close combat, which means he gets an extra attack die. And so we're going to go after their infantry. So I'm getting aggressive there, and I'm in like cover now. So as you can see, that's a miss. It was a miss. These two are solid hits, and those defensive values don't help them one bit. And so another infantry is down. Okay, so now we got to start getting juicy here. We're working with all the stuff in the back. So I have a transport unit here that just cannot move, and he can only attack one space away, so he's worthless. I have a panzer unit also worthless. So these two guys are just sitting there basically in the garage barn, in the garage of the barn, doing nothing. So we really only have 4 units here to do something with. One is my anti-tank guy, and he has suspension and engine damage, so he can't move, but he can shoot 3 spaces away. So we're going to shoot 1, 2, 3 after that car. So it's a 5 to hit. So he needs a 5 to hit. He gets a -2 because of the range. So it's a 7. But his commander gives him a +3, which is a 4. So again, we're going with our new anti-tank gun up against that armored car. I need a 4. And I rolled 3 dice. So it doesn't matter what this was. The defense dice don't matter. I need to roll only 2 dice though. And that was good enough. The 9. So we hit the armored car and destroyed that. Okay, now I have an 88. He can do soft attack at 5 just as well as he can do hard attack. So we're going to do a soft attack with him. And his commander has the marksman ability, which means he ignores cover. So we're going to try to hit one of these. And I'm actually going to go after that rifleman there and ignore the cover, so he doesn't get his cover bonus. And didn't need it. His defense rolls stunk. I hit with a... Oh my gosh, I hit with a 2 because my commander gets a +3. So this rifle unit is done. So we got yet another rifle gone. And then I have an artillery unit here, and I'm going to... I'm going to shoot here at these guys in cover, and I'm going to go after that last rifleman. And my artillery unit needs a 6 to hit, but it's a -1 because it's range 2, so it's a 7. But the commander gives me a +2, so it's a 5. And there's 2 hits right there with no defense value. So every rifleman is dead. The only thing left in this particular spot is an anti-tank unit. And that's it. Okay, so I'm feeling really good. All that's left is our Panther. Now the Panther can shoot 3 spaces away as well. And what I'm concerned about are these anti-tank guns. There are 2 of them here that can shoot 3 spaces away themselves. So if my Panther moves forward, I'm now in their range for attack. So I can move forward and shoot at them, which might eliminate one of them, right? That's the idea. Or I can just wait a bit, and maybe those anti-tank guns will move forward, because actually they may not move forward because they can hit us here. So there's other things to hit though. And my Panther can still attack soft targets with a range of 6. So I'm going to go after... you know what? Those mortars and those anti-tank guns aren't going to do a thing. I'm going to move... Oh gosh, I have to do it. I'm going to move forward. And I'm going to shoot at those anti-tank guns. I got to hit them. So I get a -1 to my roll. The anti-tank guns are a soft target. So I need a 6 to hit them. That 6 has become a 7 because of my move. And since they're 3 away, it's become a 9. And my commander reduces it to an 8. So by moving forward, I'm giving myself an 8 Yeah, I don't like those odds. I'm going to stay back in my heavy cover, and instead I'm just going to shoot at this this anti-tank unit that's here. And so what did I say? 6. Yeah, I just need a 6 to hit this time. So there's a 9. So I would have hit that anti-tank gun had I done it, but I had no way of knowing. So this whole stack is gone. This is my unit. So we've completely cleared that. And that's it for us. So now we go to 5 turns left on the ticker. So my artillery, I still have the ability to use a command with my artillery and get a free shot. So I can take a free shot at that rifle. My transport unit cannot move. So I was hoping maybe to move my artillery, into cover over here so we can have a better shot at them. If I move my artillery, I cannot attack in the same turn. So by moving my artillery, I'm putting them in the line of fire, the artillery unit of them. So that's the problem I'm running into. So I'm not going to use my tactic this turn. I'm going to wait. All right, so now we roll for them, but let's do a quick check. They have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 points. They have been reduced to half strength. So they need 13 points to go to half strength. That's probably easier for you to read. So we got them exactly to 13 points. So we got them to half strength. We don't have them destroyed yet, though. And because we're rolling the 6-sided die, there is a chance they're going to retreat. So let's see. And there it is. There's a 1, which turns into a 0. And so what that is, first of all, let's just start here. This is a mortar. He's going to retreat, so he's going to go back a space. The MG retreats. Anti-tank guns, retreat, retreat. This is a mortar, retreats. The armored car retreats to cover. So this one does not retreat. The rifle retreats. So that's how it looks. Nobody left the map, so it's a little scary that they move backwards, but that's what ended up happening. Okay, so now it's our turn, and I sure wish that our transport was able to move, because I would use it to move our artillery in range. And unfortunately, we can't do that. In order to win this, I need to destroy at least 8 points worth of units. And given where I'm currently located, that's not going to be easy. So first things first, both of these my machine gun unit had a mobile and exposed, and that goes away because it's his turn again. I mean, they got their chance to hit him, and they didn't. I guess technically speaking, before I do that though, the mortar units do get to fire, but no, if they move, they don't get to fire. Never mind. Same with the anti-tank gun. So this guy was in range of a few items, but nothing happened. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move my my pillboxes north. So both of these guys are moving into cover, and then they're going to be able to attack anything. They only have a range of 1, so they can't do anything to harm them. My infantry here is aggressive, so they can move and attack without taking stress, but they get a -2 to their roll. And the only one they can attack is this rifle unit, and we're going to try it. So let's do that. And I rolled a 4 and a 2, and I don't think that's going to cut the mustard. I get a +1 from my commander, but a -2 because I moved. Yeah, I missed completely. So my infantry didn't do anything. This is an artillery that can shoot 3 spaces away. We're going to move it forward to position him to be able to hit something, but he cannot move and attack in the same turn. Same goes with the 88. He cannot move and attack in the same turn. This anti-tank gun cannot move. Okay, he's immobile because of the damage he suffered from the last battle. Same with these two. It's just that this guy can at least attack from time to time. And then I have my Panther. I can only move one space, and I will move one space to here. I do get a 3 range attack against this armored car, and I'm going to take it. Now I get a -1 because of my my movement, and I get a -2 because of the range. So that's a -3 total. He hits with a 4, so now it becomes a 7, but my commander makes it reduced down to 6. So I need a 6 or better to hit. And there's a 10 and a 7, so I hit twice. So I got 2 of the 8 points that I need gone. Now, if I roll a retreat here, I will get half the points, but I will not destroy this battalion. I have to destroy the battalion to cancel their battalion roll penalty. So I don't want to roll 1 here. I actually want them to move forward or at least stay where they are. So let's see. Oh, we're down to 4 turns. Now my artillery has the ability to go during the fast step. So I could choose to attack during this fast step. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my tactic to move. And that way when the slow step comes, my artillery can fire. It's a little bit risky because it's moving me. You know what? I want to do that during the slow step, and then I can attack during the fast step. That's what I want to do. So I'm not going to spend that yet. Because by moving there, I'm putting myself in so all of them can shoot at me. I don't want to do that. Okay, I'm going to wait. Nobody's going to go fast. And then we're going to see what they do. There's a 6. That's what I wanted. I wanted them to be a little bit more aggressive. They subtract 1 because they're half strength, so it's a 5. So first of all, the armored car, there aren't any. So let's just start at the top. The mortar is going to do a cautious advance. So cautious means advance only if by doing so it cannot be attacked. And then of course it would go into heaviest cover, which means it would move here. If it advances, it can be attacked, so it's not going to advance, that mortar. So let's move on. We got, what is this? That's an MG unit. Holy cow, that's still alive. It's going to advance to cover. There is no cover, so he doesn't advance. Anti-tank gun does cautious advance. Neither of them are going to advance. The mortar doesn't advance. This rifle unit will only advance to cover, which it can't do. So everybody basically doesn't move, which from my perspective is good enough. Okay, they do get to attack though. And in fact, because they didn't move, they're actually going to get some decent attacks in. And they're attacking my infantry, most of them. The rifle unit for sure is. The anti-tank guns can shoot 3 away. The rifle unit is going to be easier on them. And same with the mortars. So everybody's shooting this rifle unit. That's the drawback. So let's start with the rifle, their rifle unit. They rolled a 6 and a 10, and they hit with a 4. So we block one of them, but yes, they do a hit. And we're exposed. Okay, so next we do the mortar. That mortar hits with a 4. It's a range 2, so it gets a -1 penalty, so it hits with a 5. And those are 2 misses. And this would have been 2 blocks. So next mortar, same thing. 1 hit, but it's blocked. So that was really well done. The MG unit can't do anything. And now we got 2 anti-tank guns. They hit with a 5. They get a penalty of 1, so they hit with a 6. There's 2 of them. So let's do the first one. This is a hit. So I need to draw for that. Commander wounded. Oh no, I gotta flip it to the other side. 1 stress. I was reading the the armored side. So he's up to 4 stress now. He can't really handle anymore without getting shaken. And then the other one, those are 2 hits with 1 block. So we get 1 hit. And we got an exposed. So he's going to get hit hard next turn. All right, so it is our turn. So let's see here. We did 6. Yeah, we're down to 4 turns left. Okay, it's our turn. My artillery is going to move into cover and not attack this round. My 88 is going to attack. Well, so my thoughts were I was going to go after this rifleman with him, but he's exposed and they're going to just tear him to shreds next turn. So if anything, my infantry needs to retreat, so that way we don't get ripped to shred. So I am going to do that, and hopefully that'll save him from getting hit a lot. My 2 MG nests can move forward, which that's an interesting move. They can't move and attack, I don't think. Actually, they can. They get 2 stress, though, if they move and attack. And I don't know if I want to give 2 stress to my commanders. But maybe I can give it to one of them. Definitely not 922. I can give it to 921. Ziegler can do it. So if I moved and attacked, what it would do is it would allow me to kill this rifle unit, which is only 1 point. I don't need to kill that rifle unit. I need to kill the stuff in the back. So I'm just going to move. This 88 can hit the rifle unit. And again, I don't know if I need to do that, so I'm just going to move and get him into cover. So now we can hit the back end of the board. And then I'm going to move my Panther in, and I'm going to go after those anti-tank guns, because those anti-tank guns are a problem for him. So we're going to once again shoot. The anti-tank guns are a soft target. So my Panther hits with a 6. And because they're 2 range away, it's going to be an 8. And because he moved, it's a 9. And then the commander makes it an 8. So this is a very low odds thing, but I got to try it. And there's the 8 that I was looking for. And that 9 is not good enough to block it. So one of the anti-tank guns is destroyed. And that's a 3-pointer, folks. So that was juicy. Very, very juicy. Is the other one also 3 points? It better be. No, that one's only 2 points. What's the difference? Oh, never mind. It's a 2-pointer. 2-pointer. So we got 4 of the 8 points that we need down. And like I said, these guys in the back can't move. So they're stuck. All right, so we now go to 3 turns left. And I'm going to use this now. This is on my artillery. So it's his final tactic, and my artillery is sitting here. And 1, 2, 3 away, we can hit anything. The mortars, I'm going to hit the anti-tank gun if I can. And so my artillery shoots with a 6. It gets a -2 penalty because we're shooting 3 spaces away, so it's an 8. But my my commander gives me a +2, so we're back to a 6. So as long as I roll a 6 or better and they don't defend it, we got them. And I did not roll a 6 or better. We were close, and they did not defend it. So that stinks. That's twice now we used our tactic and it didn't work. Okay, now they get to go, and if I roll a 1, they're going to retreat, and it's over. We did not destroy the battalion. Just to do a quick sanity check, they have 2, 4, 6, 7 points. I need to reduce them to 5. So I needed a hit with that artillery that I just shot. Oh man, see how close these games get? the tension is pretty thick, and it could go, if it doesn't go your way, you're, okay, let's roll for them. And it's a 3, which gets reduced to a 2. So it's a hold and a hold. There's no tanks, anti-tanks, or cars available, so everything's holding. That's an interesting move on their part. So what that means then is their mortars fire, their anti-tank gun fires. Now we got to figure out who are they firing at. Well, the easy one is the rifle unit. He's going to fire at one of our, and we're going to shoot at the 921. So he hits with a 4. And we have a defense value of 2. So there's the 4, and they hit. So 921 got hit. And we got 1 stress. So that puts our commander to 4. And there was one of them I saw in there called Mode Down. Mode Down does not sound good. Mode Down. I'm looking that one up. Unit destroyed and commander killed. Oh my gosh. I highly suggest you take that out of the game. that's just not even fair. Technically, if your commander gets killed, the only thing you lose is the experience points. You can get another commander for free. You don't pay anything. You don't lose victory points. Losing the commanders is probably not as bad as losing the unit itself in this game. The experience point loss, though, hurts because getting my commanders up to +3 to my die roll is really nice. I think it's 2 SO points to artificially promote them when you hire a new commander. So you can pay 2 SO points to, promote them from green to skilled to average or whatever. But anyways, okay, let's keep going. Starting at the top left, the mortar unit. Who's he going to attack? These guys are 2 away, and so he can hit them with a 5 because he gets a -1 to his roll. But this guy has 2 exposed markers, so he gets a +4 to his attack against him. This is a -2. So he actually can hit with a 2. So he's going after our infantry unit because he hits with a 2. Same with the other guy. Now the anti-tank gun would be a 5. That would be a 6. And then going against him, it'd be a 3. Yeah, everybody's going after our infantry unit. Even though we retreated, it wasn't enough. So Mortar is going after our infantry, and he hits with a 2 because he gets a +4 to his die roll, and a -2 because it's 3 spaces away. So he hits with a 2 or better. And there's 2 hits, but we actually blocked one of them. And the infantry has 3 defense, so we blocked the other one. Oh my gosh, that was stressful. But we got to keep going. Now we got another mortar attack that's doing the exact same thing. And I once again blocked both. Oh my gosh, that's like balls of steel right there. Now the anti-tank gun is also shooting at him, even though the Panther gets hit with a 3 and he's a 5. The way the math works is he can hit the infantry with a 3. Now the Panther is not exactly a 3 because since it's 3 range away, that the Panther turns into a 5 for the anti-tank gun. So the anti-tank gun hits the infantry with a 3 or better. And there's 2 hits, and we still block one of them. Oh my gosh, that is amazing. But we do take 1 hit, and it is another exposed. But the 2 exposed markers he already had goes away. So, all right. Now, like I said, we're at 3 turns to go. And first things first, we're going to mow this guy down. It's not even going to be funny. And he does block both hits. That jerk. All right, well, we're going to mow him down with our other MG unit, and he doesn't block that one. So it doesn't help us because we needed to reduce them by 2 points, and that only reduces them by 1. But it's at least one less unit for us to worry about. Our artillery has been missing the whole game, and our guy gives us a +2 every time we fire, but it's only counteracting the -2 that we get for shooting 3 spaces away. But we're going to shoot at the anti-tank gun up there. So let's do it. And there's our 10 that we were looking for, and this 6 doesn't do squat to block. So we just nailed the anti-tank gun, and that's enough to destroy them. And so now we're just we're showing off. So our 88 is going to shoot at a mortar, and the 88 is shooting 3 spaces away. He hits with a 5 -2, which becomes a 7, but his commander is +3, which becomes a 6. And there's a 9 and a 7. The mortar only blocks with a 2, so the mortar is murder. And so 88 did its job. And then we have the Panther. So I'm going to move forward with the Panther. We're shooting at a range 2 against the other mortar. And we get a -1 for advancing and another -1 for attacking 2 range away. Our commander only gives us a +1. This commander doesn't give a lot of pluses. I think we took him because he's a mechanic and a medic, but it does sort of hurt. You spend 15 points for a Panther and you're not getting a bonus to all your rolls. But basically, we got to hit with a 7, and we don't. 5 was the best we could muster. So that brings us to the end of turn 3, and then we moved to turn 2. But if you do a count, this is 2 points, that's 4 points, and we destroy them with 5. So the battalion's destroyed, the battle's over. Okay, I'll clean this up in between battles. But this was a little stressful. But not as stressful as some of the previous battles. And oh, by the way, guess what I forgot to do the entire game? I don't know if that would have meant anything, to be honest. Our rifle squads I don't think ever missed. So anyways, I'm just going to call the card used up, and we'll get rid of that. We destroyed 1C, so I'm going to go grab the battalion marker and remove it from the front lineup here. And it gives us 2 extra experience points, so this is going to be an amazing tally. All right, so 1C. Let's get the names in view. And I should probably like write down like what they are. So for example, Gerber is the 88. Smelter is the 105 millimeter. Bach is the anti-tank gun. Albrecht, he's the recon, which is not he's a transport right now, but he will be a recon, or at least that's the plan. This is the 1st Panzer. And then Beck is also a Panzer. And those are both the Panthers, of course. Vogel is the Panzer II. Seidel is Machine Gun A. Ziegler, Machine Gun B. And Saltz is infantry. So I know some of that's probably difficult to read, but at least it helps. We destroyed the battalion, and this particular battalion is worth 4 points. So we got 5 points for the week. So that's good. And then coming back up, everybody but the ace, we can just do that. Got 4 experience points. 2 for destroying the battalion, and then 2 because the battalion gave them 2. So let's start with Salts. He has 4, 6, 7. He has 4, 6, 7 experience points. I'm looking at Salts. Where is he at? He needed exactly 7 to level up, so he got just enough, crossing them all out. And like this to me is the most exciting part about the game. All right, so first of all, he gets 2 stress for the mission, so let's give him 2. And as we noted, Salts is the infantry commander. So you can see he's got the aggressive close combat, and he's promoting to veteran, which he's finally going to get his first cool value, which is good. He needs it. And you can see that his stress that he needs to go to aggressive just got a lot better. So he can have 6 stress and not be shaken. So that was a good improvement for him. And he gets a +3 in close combat, which is also very good value for him. All right, next is Ziegler. 4, 5 experience for Ziegler. I'm checking him. He levels up. And it takes exactly 5 to level him up. So we're going to cross 4 and 1. So here's Ziegler sitting on skilled level. And his bonuses aren't very great because he's got the medic and the tactic. So that's like a bonus within itself. And you can see he's going to get 2 more stress for the mission. And so his cool value is finally going to be 1. And the stress is not going to harm him as much. And he at least improves at range 0, which is something. But it's better. We'll take it. Okay. Who's next? Seidel. You can see Seidel there has 7. So he only needed 5. So we're going to cross 7 off and we're going to write 2 down. Seidel is also going to veteran. And you can see he had a +1/+1. This is a machine gun guy, machine gun nest. And now he's going to really improve in his stress management, which is good. Let me move these guys up for you. You can see that 0 to 4 is actually, he gained 1 stress from the mission. And now his numbers improved big time. But this is the important one, the 0 to 6, and then of course the 1 cool. And that was 4 stress. I will fix that. It's the problem with picking these up. Okay, what do we got next? After Seidel, we have Vogel with 4, and I guarantee you he leveled up. Yep, he did. So Vogel is a veteran. Remember, he started off as a recruit, the lowest of all the levels, and he's going to be our 2nd ace. Isn't that crazy? But that's why we did this, right? Because he levels up so fast. So here you can see he's got a +2/+1, and he has 1 cool, so he will get 1 stress from the last mission. Puts him up to 7 stress. And then we flip it over to legendary. He becomes a fast +2/+2. In all honesty, he's better than the guy I have in charge of my Panther. So I'm going to move Vogel in charge of the other Panther, and then the guy that was in charge of the other Panther will just run Panzer II. However, Vogel's quite stressed out, as you can see, and right now he's shaken. But with his aggressive overdrive, the aggressive stinks. It's not useful at all. I think this was supposed to be close combat or something. I don't know. If anybody knows, please let me know. Like, if you've seen anything in Board Game Geek about it. I didn't bother going to the forums. But he's an ace. And he's the second ace. And he did this from recruit. I cannot tell you enough to put Vogel in your lineup and make him your lowest level guy, because you always have to have that one guy you start at a recruit level, and Vogel was it. And like I said, put him in a crappy Panzer II, like I just did, and now he's blossomed, and you can move him over in charge of your Panthers, and his bonuses is actually better than the other guy. The other guy, we took him because he's a mechanic and medic. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that other guy. It's just, it is what it is. Okay, let's keep going. Coach is an 8. Now, this is the one that we were just making fun of, and he does level up. Now, he has 0 stress, but he's going to get 2. And before we get, and so as you can see, he's the mechanic and medic that was only giving us a +1 to our rolls, but he's moving up to veteran now, and you can see he just got a +2 at range, which is good. His stress management and his cool both got better, and he's still a medic and mechanic, which that by itself is awesome. But he's going to need 9 more experience before he becomes a legendary or an ace. And if he ever does, he gets 2 cool plus another +1/+1 to each of his attacks. So he eventually does get really good, but he needs a ton of experience points, and he needed to lose 8 for this level up. So what's the chances of me getting 9 more for him when he's sitting at 0 right now? We're already 4 weeks in. We're halfway through the campaign. There's not a lot more cards that give bonus experience points like that. But whatever one there is, like there is one that base one that gives 3 experience points. So I guess he's going to get 5 from that one mission. And we really need to prioritize that next, because I think a lot of these guys are going to level up big time, and we'll get a lot of them to ace just from that one mission. Okay, Albrecht, 4, 6, 8 points. Albrecht only needed 5. So he levels up. I mean, we got everybody leveling up here. So we're going to cross off the 4 and the 2 and put in the 1. And sorry, I was moving everything. So here's where he's at. He's going to get 2 more stress from the mission. And he moves to veteran, which his stress management gets a bit better and his cool goes up. But everything else stays the same. He's still shaken, but definitely better off. And what's crazy is I need actually a week to rest my guys, and I'm oh my gosh. I don't know if you could hear that, but all kinds of stuff just fell to the floor. Okay, I'm pausing. All right, it's picked up, and I know with this pausing feature, you don't see all the minutes that goes by while I was gone, but anyways, I always announce that I'm pausing because sometimes I screw up. Okay, let's keep going. Next is Bach, who has 8. And Bach is, where is he? Okay, 8 is enough to level up. In fact, he needed exactly 8. And he's becoming a veteran. Now this is our anti-tank guy. So he already has a +3, which is awesome. And then he's going to get a bonus to his range 0, his stress management's going to get better, and then you can see his cool goes up, which is good. But unfortunately, he gets 2 stress from this last mission. So he moves up to veteran. And then we have Smelter at 8, and then Gerber at 7. Gerber does not level up. He's our 88 guy. He needs 10, but 7 is a good march towards that 10. He's already quite awesome. He has 2 cool already, so he doesn't even get any extra stress. He already gives a +3 at range 1 or more, and 0 to 6 he is a stress management. So if he were to actually become an ace, he becomes fast. So right now he's slow. That's the only thing that's missing on him. And then what do we say? The other one is Smelter at 8. He levels up with 5. So let me cross off 8 and put 3 over here. So here's what he is now. And he's going to gain 2 stress. And here's what he will be. So he's our artillery guy. So that +2 at range 1 or more is canceling the penalty we get when we shoot 3 spaces away. So right now he's just breaking even, and then on the die rolls he needs a 6 or better to hit. And then finally we're getting to +3, which is what so he's finally getting us down to 50-50 chance of hitting the enemy. It's still good. I mean, and then the tactic ×2 means that he's going to get to go fast and slow. That's why I picked this particular leader. +3 is the best you can ask for in any of those stats. And when you're shooting at a range 3 away, you're always going to get a -2 penalty. So getting a +3 is the best I could get there. The tactic means you get to go twice. And then a spotter means you ignore line of sight. I mean, I can't complain about that. And then at legendary, he's going to get 2 cool. That's the only thing interesting about him is right now he has 0 cool. But he's sitting on only 2 stress right now. And I keep buying R&R because all my other guys are stressed out. So he hasn't been, causing any problems for me. So that brings us to the end. Oh, no, it doesn't. So we get to adjust our SO points. So we do get 8 more. So we have the 8 that we just received. And then we have 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 from the previous week. I do have to pay 1 because of the Panther. And we have 2 mechanics, 2 medics. All right, so the medics reduce stress, reduce 1 wound or 1 casualty. I have 0 wounds or casualties. Nope, I have 1 commander wounded, the Beck, our legendary Panther guy. So 1 commander is healed, and now I get to remove 2 stress from one of my guys. And I'm just looking to see who's the most stressed out here. It would be Bach, so I'm going to remove 2 stress from him. Although there's several candidates for this. Yeah, I'm going to remove 2 stress from Bach. So that's my medics. And then for the mechanics, I get to heal 2 things. And the engine damage costs 2 SO points. So I'm going to remove the engine damage. So we're going to remove the engine damage from the anti-tank. And then I also have this problem. Right, that's my Panzer II. And then this is my transport, which I would need to fully heal up before I could upgrade it to the recon. So I do get to have 1 more free healing, and I'm going to do that to heal the gun on my Panther. That's more important than anything. And I am paying 1 SO point to take. I'm making my Panther as full strength as possible. Can't afford to lose those. The exposed marker on my rifle team goes back in. Okay. So that's my situation. I think at this point in the game, scrapping this and just paying 5 points for another Panzer II is cheaper than trying to deal with this mess. And I think you would agree with that. Obviously, my 2 mechanics get to heal 2 things every week. If I somehow, some way, did not take any damage, I could, eventually get this repaired. But I'm right now not willing to even spend the 5 points. So I'm just going to keep the Panzer II a damaged mess. The particular commander, Vogel, is shaken. He's an awesome commander right now. He's legendary. Here's our other ace. But I'm going to just let him sit. Then I have all this damage that you see here. And I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm healing it all. So I'm going to spend 7 points. Because the longer I leave a lot of tokens on these, the higher the chance that I'm going to draw that commander killed and all that other crap that I don't want. So that's 7 points. So 5, 6, 7 puts me into this situation. Now, if I want, I can spend 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and upgrade to the recon, which would leave me with 1 SO point left for the next mission or next week. That's a risky thing to do, but I want to show you again that recon and what it does. That's the recon. Right now, it's a transport. Okay, the recon is obviously not going to be able to transport anybody anymore, but when have we ever really needed to transport anybody? I mean, transport sort of sucks with the new rules. The thing with the recon is obviously it's less penalty when you attack while moving, right? That's the first nice thing about it. It can hit armor piercing if it needs to, although it's not very good. The commander for this is a +1/+1, so he's not going to give huge bonuses, but he'll at least nullify the attack while moving. But the big one is the 4 command tactics. So 4 times in the game, he's going to allow other units to move first. Or use, they'll be able to attack during the fast phase. Or if they're already fast, they can attack again during the slow phase. And it doesn't have to be himself. He lets other units do it. That's the reason why I love this recon. We haven't gotten to use it the whole game yet because we've still been saving up for it. So the choice is I can either upgrade to him now and then I'm sitting on just 1 SO point, or I can wait 1 more week where I really think I'll be able to afford it. So let's say I wanted to wait 1 more week. I would spend 5 SO points to get priority R&R because I still have stressed out commanders all over the place, including this recon guy that we're looking at here. This particular guy who's in charge of the transport, he's very stressed out. He has 7 total stress right now. So that's my dilemma is, can we, which is the right priority? Do we worry about the stress today or do we worry about it later? I'm going to do the upgrade. I think that 4 command tactics is huge. And if we're going to spend 13 points on something, let's do it early in the campaign. I mean, why wait until there's only a few weeks left in the campaign? In fact, I should have had that recon from the start if you really want to think about it that way. However, as you know, those battalions were giving us a big penalty. So as much as it would have been nice, we're getting it at the right time. I really would do things differently. I think if I were to do this campaign over again, I don't think I would have taken either of the Panthers. I really don't. The 88 is good enough to hit 3 spaces away, and so is this guy. This guy only costs 10 points. He hits 3 spaces away, just like a Panther does. So if I really needed to take out enemy tanks, I would use this. But his defense value is a lot lower, But I still think, because it's so much cheaper. And this recon, just FYI, is as strong or almost costs as much as the Panther. So as much as I'm talking good about it, it took a long time. Now, here's the thing. Remember I told you the machine gun teams can be upgraded for just 1 point? Well, by me doing what I just did, I don't have any points left to do that. So our machine gun teams are still not fully upgraded. Uh, in some respects, it's okay because they're already quite good the way they are. But that brings us to the end of the week. We're moving on to week 5. And I'm pretty sure week 5 is going to look like this. We're going for him. There's a lot of other stuff that we can go for. And remember, we don't have to roll for the battalions because we won that battle. So we canceled the bonus they got. But week 5 is going to be the base. I'm pretty sure we're going to do that. There is one battalion that's potentially going to make us lose 2 SO points. We could have gone after that instead, and the machine gun nest. But I think I'm going to do that because I want to get the 3 extra experience points. I want to get as many of our commanders to maximum, ace level as possible. Because when they get to that ace level, they have a cool value that's so I don't have to manage stress anymore. If stress isn't an issue, then I don't have to pay 5 SO points for R&R. So you see how that sort of plays out. So I'm hoping to do that one. And as always, thank you for watching and stay awesome. This will be my last video for tonight. Gotta hit the hay, and we'll see you tomorrow.